Dear students, today I am going to provide you the lecture number 3 of motion chapter. So the first topic is the graphical representation of motion. Now so far we have understood what is motion. We have learned what is speed, velocity, distance, displacement, acceleration, etc. Now we all will visualize in the form of some graphs which are known as the graphical representation of motion. So here it has been written that to describe the motion of an object, that is to understand its velocity, distance or speed, displacement, etc., we can use some line graphs. Here you can see one line graph. In this case, line graphs show dependence of one physical quantity such as distance or velocity on another quantity such as time. That is, mostly in the x-axis the time is there, and in the y-axis the distance or the velocity will be considered. So the first one is the distance time graphs. The change in the position of an object with time can be represented on the distance time graph adopting a convenient scale of choice. In this graph, time is taken along the x-axis and the distance is taken along the y-axis. That is how the position of the object changes can be understood from the distance time graph. Here in the x-axis time will be there, either it is in the unit of minute or in the unit of second or in the unit of hour, and in the along the y-axis we will write our distance. So this is the distance time graph of an object moving with uniform speed. That is it is an uniform motion, and earlier we understood that in case of uniform motion or in case of an object moving with uniform speed, the distance increases uniformly, that is distance increases regularly. That is, you can see that at 0 time, when time is 0 minute, the distance is 0. When time becomes 20 minute, the distance becomes something around here. When time becomes 40 minute, the distance becomes here. And when the time becomes 60 minutes, then the distance becomes here. Now if we subtract this point and this point, we will get a value, and if we subtract this point and this point, we will get a value, and if we subtract this point and this point, we will get another value, and in each of the three cases we will get the same value. So this is known as the uniform motion. So from this distance time graph we can determine the speed of our object. This is a very important conclusion of the graph, or we can say this is a very important fact of this graph. To do this, we consider a small part AB. Here small part AB is considered. This is A and this is V of the distance time graph. We draw a line parallel to the x-axis from point O, A, and another line parallel to the y-axis from point B. So we draw two lines. One is this line and another one is draw a line parallel to the x-axis from point A and another line parallel to the y-axis from point B. So we draw this line and another line, this line. These two lines meet each other at point C. So you can see this parallel line, this line is parallel to the x-axis and this line is parallel to the y-axis, and these two lines meet at a common point which is known as C, and they form a triangle ABC. This is a right angle triangle. Now on the graph, AC denotes the time interval. Now you can see here the AC line represents the time interval between T1 and T2. Time interval means the difference between two time. So T2 minus T1, while BC corresponds to the distance S2 minus S1, and this BC represents the distance covered during this time interval, that is T2 minus T1, and so the distance covered will be S2 minus S1. Here it is S2 and here it is S1. The picture is little blurred, so you can take the help of your book. We can see from the graph that as the object moves from the point A to B, now from the graph we can see that when the object moves from A to B, it covers a distance S2 minus S1. The distance covered is S2 minus S1, and in time, what is the time? The time is T2 minus T1. The speed v of the object therefore can be represented as v equal to s2 minus s1 divided by t2 minus t1, because we know speed or velocity is the ratio between distance and the time. So here it is the distance and here it is the time. This is the distance time graph for a car moving with non-uniform speed. We know that in case of non-uniform motion, the distance covered during equal interval of time is different. So between 4 to 2, this distance has been covered. Between 6 to 4, this distance has been covered. So you can see that the time interval, that is in each cases, is 2 seconds, but the distance covered is different. So this is an example of non-uniform motion, and this graph is for distance time graph. Similarly to the distance time graph, we will now understand our velocity time graph. Here just simply we place velocity along the y-axis and time along the x-axis. So this is a graph. This graph is for uniform motion. Now here the graph is from here. This is our graph, this straight line. Now here our graph is straight line parallel to the time axis, that is x-axis, because in case of uniform motion the velocity is or the speed is constant every time. That is, if a car is moving at 50 km per hour for the first hour, then it will move in again 50 km per hour in the second hour, and so on. From the velocity time graph we can determine the distance covered. Now how distance or displacement covered. So now how we can determine this we will understand now. To know the distance moved by the car between time t1 and t2, here t1 and here t2, we have shaded this portion using figure 8.5. Draw perpendiculars from the points corresponding to the time t1 and t2 on the graph. So we draw two perpendicular from A and from B. This is our perpendicular, such that here it is t1 and here it is t2. So this forms a rectangle. The velocity of 40 km per hour is represented by the height AC. So here this we can see from the graph that the velocity of our car is 40 km per hour, because the graph is this straight line, and this straight line corresponds to our 40 km per hour, and the time is t2 minus t1. So here the time is t2 minus t1. This t2 can be either 4 seconds and t1 can be 1 point something. So we use for our convention only t1 and t2. That is the time interval here is from A to B is t2 minus t1. So the distance s can be moved by the car in time t2 minus t1 can be expressed as s is equal to AC into CD. Here the distance s can be determined as AC, that is the edge of this side of this rectangle multiplied by the side of this rectangle, that is basically the area of this rectangle. So s is equal to AC into CD, that is 40 km per hour into t2 minus t1, because CD is the t2 minus t1 and AC is the 40 km per hour, and so it will be 40 into t2 minus t1 kilometer, and this is the area of the rectangle ABDC. So from velocity time graph, if we find the area under the velocity time graph, we can find the distance or displacement. Now for uniformly accelerated motion, here it has to be considered uniformly accelerated motion. In case of uniformly accelerated motion, the velocity increases but at a regular interval. That is, from 0 to 5 velocity is here, again from 5 to 10 velocity is here. Now if we measure if we subtract the velocity from this point to this point and again from this point to this point, then we will get two equal velocities in the equal interval of time. So for uniformly accelerated motion, the condition is that the velocity must be equal in equal interval of time. So this is the uniformly accelerated motion, and this is our graph. So again, if anyone says what will be the distance or displacement covered from A to B, then we simply draw perpendicular from A to the time axis and from B to the time axis. Here the area is in the form of trapezium. So we will divide it into two parts. One is rectangle and another one is right angle triangle, and so the total area will give the distance, and this can be measured by S is equal to area of this shaded portion. So area of rectangle ABCD, we divide it into two parts. One is ABCD and another one into ADE, and so the rectangle's area is AB into BC, and the area of triangle is half into AD into D. Similarly, we can measure any distance from the velocity time graph. Now these are the two examples of velocity time graph for a non-uniformly accelerated motion. Here you can see that velocity is first one, in case either it is increasing and then after some time it gets decreased, then again increased, then again decreased. Also here it is decreasing arbitrarily. So these are the examples of velocity time graph for an object in non-uniformly accelerated motion. So today in this lecture we have understood the graphical representation of motion, the distance time graph for uniform as well as for non-uniform, the velocity time graph for uniform motion, for uniformly accelerated motion, and for non-uniformly accelerated motion.